So I saw the Bernstein Bears when I felt the energy behind your cards, Aries. Now, the Bernstein Bears are kind of like a children's book characters that teach kids about safety. I actually had to look this up because I'm not that familiar with it. I didn't really grow up with the Bernstein Bears, but I kept flat seeing the image when I felt the energy behind your cards. Now, maybe the actual story, maybe you did grow up with it, and that it's significant to you. But otherwise, this message is more about lessons regarding safety, okay? Being safe, how we were taught to be safe, stranger danger, right? That's the kind of vibe behind the Bernstein Bears. And then look on the board, we've got the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is things that we don't see coming, okay? Which is like the sense that that's where safety comes from. If we could see things coming that, you know, we wouldn't need to play it safe because then we would just know how to act on the spot. So, now I did see a couple other things when I felt the energy behind your cards. I felt, or I saw a ladder, okay? Now the ladder is like a classic example of something where you can screw up, fall, break your neck. You know, something where there's an opportunity to have something happen if you don't play it safe because you can't see the future. And then the last thing that I saw was a crocodile. The crocodile is the danger. So there's something about playing it safe. There's something about danger, the lessons that you've learned, and just doing things with caution. Now, either you guys are being too cautious or you're being not cautious enough. We're going to have to pull more cards to find out, Aries. Because you're Aries, I'm almost more tempted to say you're not being cautious enough because you're Aries. But let's see. Okay, we've got the Queen of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. Hold on a second. Wow, the two, okay. So this is like being an airhead. Really, this is like thinking about one thing, Queen of Pentacles. I'm like almost like in a dreamlike state. That's the Queen of Pentacles. While you're doing, like juggling two things at the same time. You're thinking of one thing while you're doing something else, Two of Pentacles. And you don't, and that's where maybe something can happen. Where there's danger. And it's like obvious, like something you should know, okay? Where it's like basic safety precautions. This is a week, or in the next couple weeks, wear your freaking seatbelt. Let's see what else there is. On the bottom is the Nine of Wands. Oh, shit! On the bottom is the Nine of Wands with the Tower. So the Tower is when the ladder falls over, you literally break your neck, you're like paralyzed. The Tower is like the worst moment in your life where something breaks, crashes, and burns. And it's something that could be completely avoided if you, Nine of Wands, had just done that little bit extra mile to prevent it. Where if you were wearing the seatbelt, you wouldn't have gone through the windshield. And then in terms of like an example, this is a really good example because the card under that's the freaking Chariot. The Chariot's like a car. So wear your freaking seatbelts this week, guys. If you're watching this video, wear your seatbelts. This is not a week to be texting and driving at the same time. This is a perfect example of texting and driving. Two of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups. Do not text and drive the next couple weeks. You're gonna crash your car. I'm not throwing that out there. I'm not trying to project. You could crash your car. All right, let's pull Oracle cards, see if we can find out more, and then we're gonna pull advice at the end. All right, Aries. Tell me more about Aries. Tell me more about the ladder, the Bernstein Bears, the crocodile. Again, I did not grow up with the Bernstein Bears. I know very little about them, but I looked up the information, and the first thing I said was they teach people how to be safe. That's kind of one of the main things they focus on. Hold on, cards are falling. 3 cards. We have Pisces. Well, Pisces is funny because Pisces is it's similar to the first card, the Eight of Swords. It's what we don't know. It's what is murky, like the future, you know? And then we have the hammer. I almost said the ladder. The hammer, which is very similar to the ladder. It's like if you were to have, fixed your ladder with the hammer. Because the hammer is repair. If you did this repair, if you put on your seatbelt, right? If you did this minor thing that's like a safety precaution, it could be adjusting something. It could be fixing something before you use it. It can just be as simple as the seatbelt. I don't think it happens, but it's gonna happen because you haven't been doing this. You have not been doing this. Pisces is something you have not been doing. Let's see, the number 2 with the number 7. Number 2, I'm going to pull one more card. Number 2, the number 7. The Taurus is a little bit slow on the uptake in terms of how I read this card in this deck. I mean, look at the picture. That's how the card comes off to me in this deck, is a little slow. And it's almost like you guys you don't do something that other people usually do, which is a standard safety precaution. The 2 to 7, the 7 is doing something that is like routine, like added. It's technically like additive, like maintenance, So the 2 and the 7 would be like maybe maintenance. Let's go ahead and pull advice, see if we can find out more information, and see what you can do about this, like where you can look, what area of your life. Like I said, the car for sure. Watch out for the car. Let's see if there's any other hints on like where this could happen or what you can do. Okay. Advice. 7 of Pentacles. There's the maintenance. The number 7, and now we have the 7 of Pentacles. The 7 of Pentacles is also a test, and as I said the word test, the devil came out. A test of your maintenance. Did you put oil in your car? No. This is the point where it breaks down because you didn't take this basic like safety or maintenance related precaution, and you crash and burn. So the devil's in the details here. Let's see what else. Yeah. Wow. The Moon, habits, routine, maintenance. And the devil, that is the problem that's always gonna be there if you don't do this. It's tied to the Tower. And then the 5 of Swords is something you know you should be doing. You should be wearing your seatbelt. You should be putting oil in your car. You should be performing this maintenance. So there's your hint. Let's pull just a couple more cards for advice, and then we're going to close out your reading. See if there's anything else here from the Oracle. Anything else here for Aries? Maybe it's like, I was about to say maybe it's like paying your electric bill, but I don't see enough pentacles to make it that. I don't think it's that. Okay, well, that was weird. That came out. So, the volcano reversed. The volcano reversed is interesting because the volcano reversed I actually see as like the pressure cooker when you pull up the little dial and it lets out the steam. It lets out the steam before it explodes. So it's venting. It's venting, which is tied to the maintenance. If you nip this problem in the bud, it doesn't blow up in your face. That's what this is saying. You can still nip this in the bud. You can still catch this. Let's see what else there is. The Wall, Scorpio, and Gemini. The Wall is giving me, again, maintenance because it's wear and tear. Wear and tear. Gemini with Scorpio is definitely wear and tear. Scorpio is the going back and forth, and Gemini is going back and forth, and Scorpio is the damage. And so with the Wall here, this is all talking about maintenance with regards to mitigate the wear and tear of something. And there's a little bit of foresight that you need, you know, like, you gotta get in there. Like to change the oil, the cave, you gotta get into the car. So this isn't something that is like on the surface. The cave tells me that you do have to kind of like think ahead with the Wizard's Tower, and you have to get down and dirty. You have to get in there to do this maintenance, take this preventative action. It does involve getting kind of like into something. Like a seatbelt does kind of go into the other part. Could be, just saying, could be. See what's on the bottom. On the bottom is the Crown. So again, you guys can be fine. You guys, this is completely avoidable. It's just a matter of the nut, putting the oil in the oil place, whatever, the oil compartment, the engine, whatever it is that's called, the place where you put the oil, in your car. Doing the thing, adding the thing. It might even be that there's something that needs to be added as part of the maintenance. The oil is the perfect example, but it doesn't have to be that. So anyway, you guys, if you catch this, you're good. All right, Aries, I hope that helps. leave a comment if you do catch it, or if something comes up. I would love to find out more. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these videos. With that, I'll see you guys next time.